All right, guys, I'm gonna do a review here on XSteel Targets. Pretty cool stuff, high quality. Let's take a look at it. All right, guys, I apologize right off if there's any wind noise. It is pretty windy. We had that cold front and winter storm trying to move in. So if there's any wind, apologize. I'll try to speak up better. All right, I'm here to do a review on these XSteel Targets. They sent these out to me, and man, you know, I only put them through a few rounds, as you can see. I really like them. And I shot this stuff with M855 SO SS 109/62 grain as well, the Norma stuff with the steel penetrator, and it held up well. This right here is like an 11 or a 8, I think 8 by 11, and this one's like a 12-inch tall by 7 or something like that, a little Sasquatch. So it's not really a full target, it's more of a cutout silhouette type thing. Very cool. I shot this one at 100 yards. I shot this one at like 50, 60. And of course, the target that I've had a bunch of time for maybe a year now. This one's an HD steel target. I got this from them, and it's been pretty good. You know, you can see that it has been shot really well. I still have completely this side to go, but as you can see that I don't really have any. I'm dragging my bare hand on it, so it's pretty cool. However, though, these indentions are a little deeper than these, even at 100. This, you know, so that's very cool. This is coated. They come coated or uncoated, and this is coated and they're orange. So either way, I think you can get them a little cheaper if you're getting them uncoated, not, you know, 10 or 20 bucks uncoated. But I mean, if you're gonna paint them anyway, you know, I mean, so. And I got a couple of these, and these are hangers. And I'll show you real quick if I can find a post to do it on here real quick. All right, guys, here's the closest fence post I could find. So, all right, you have these hooks right here. And what they do is kind of turn it to the side, stick it in there, and it hangs like that. So, but what you do with these on a regular fence post goes down over these notches and stuff and hangs on that. So you hang your target on. So let's put it on. And you know, being that, you can adjust it to however you want. So, but there you go. I mean, Simple as that. Much quicker, much easier. The other one that I have, the XSteel Target, has one of those pieces of, it goes on a 2x4. It has a square that fits over a 2x4 with a spring and a long bolt and stuff like that. It works good. It's just a little more time consuming. And these, by doing this, actually is a lot easier. I mean, to me, I think you can, that gives you the ability to set up fence posts anywhere you want, and these things are easy to drive into the ground, especially if you got a fence post driver or even kind of a slight sledgehammer, you know. So anyway, that's how it's done. Simple as that. Look at that. Done. All right, though, but yeah, very cool steel targets. This is like a 3/8 inch target, and I believe this one right here is a 3/8 inch as well, and this is a 1/2 inch. This is made more for, you know, 5.56, 7.62 by 39, 308, stuff like that. On their site, this says 9mm and things like that, but man, you know, it held up just fine. Of course, this, I think this might be 3/8 too. It seems to be about the same thickness. And I've been shooting this with 5.56 and, you know, 62 and 55 grain for a while, and it's been holding up just fine. You know, the cool thing about targets is, though, is that, you know, when you set up paper, especially when you're wanting to dial it in and everything like that, that's great and everything. But consistently shooting at paper, you know, if you're at a distance, you have to walk down there or have a spotting scope and see where you're at, you know, and things like that. This right here, you get instant report. Bing! You know, so if you hit it, you get the sound. When you get the sound of the steel, you know that you hit it. And being that this is a smaller silhouette target, and these are targets, though, it's very cool to try to like shoot this. I will take these out, of course, I will take these out to much further distance than 50, 60 yards and then 100 yards. I didn't have any problem hitting them. Of course, I had my primary arms optic and it was dialed in and all that. So I did miss a couple of times, but I think it was because I got a little excited and I wasn't, you know, I was just trying to do some rapid shots, things like that. But for the most part, 99% of the time I hit it, you know, and I didn't put a lot of rounds on it because I was actually just doing a video for the optic and reviewing it and dialing it in and showing it. So this was just part of the part of that video. But the targets, you know, and I used those at the same time. These targets held up well, and I think they're going to serve a long time, man, especially these 1/2 inch ones, man. And that's a heavy, for a little scope, or a less scope, a little target, that thing's a heavy ass piece of steel, you know. And so is this, and this one's actually fairly heavy as well. But man, they really performed well so far. We're going to keep using these. So instead of just taking, and it's nice to have more than just one plate, you know, one target where I can, like I did the other day, I set up at different distances. That way with my optic or even irons, I can like reach out and shoot different at different ranges, you know, different, you know, yeah, different ranges. You know, like I said, this was at 200, this one was at 100, and this was at 50, 60 yards, something like that. But to be able to shoot, you know, and to shoot different ranges is good practice, because not everybody is going to be, you know, if God forbid you're in a grid down and you're having to like fight, you know, to live basically and survive, not everybody's going to be at 200 yards. You know, they're not going to be a line of them out there at 200 yards. They're going to be at different distances, and that's where your fundamentals of marksmanship comes in, whether you're using a optic like the ACSS primary arm stuff, which has got the built-in ranging and the the bullet drop compensation, which is very cool, or iron sights, which I like to shoot a lot too. That way, you know, you can, you know, you judge where everything's at, and it's good practice for doing that. And like I said, you get the instant report of hitting the steel. That way you know you've hit it. And this target is just like, I think it's an 11 by 20, so it's not a very big target. These are actually, all of them are actually a lot smaller than the average size person. So, you know, to be able to tighten those in and get those in, that means you're gonna be pretty good on, because I'm not looking for dime size groupings. When I'm shooting, I'm looking for minute of man. I'm looking, you hit the guy, you know, within the certain amount of area, and they're, you know, they're down. So, but I'm not going for accuracy, as in, like I said, you know, I'm not, you know, going for competition style shooting. I'm looking at being able to hit the target and hit him within a reasonable amount of space, of course, but all that. So having a little bit smaller targets is actually great for that, because, you know, when you dial in your optics, or you get your iron sighted in correctly to how you want them, then that way you can hit this kind of stuff and all that. One other thing I was going to mention is that, see how these targets are orange? The other one's been spray painted white. That's all great and everything for target, you know, practice and sighting in your optic and make sure everything's on and everything like that. But however, something I plan on doing, and I thought of this, John at Alpha Charlie Concepts, actually around the same time, dude, great minds, thought of doing this, and I'm sure it's been done before. I am most positive it's been done before. But if you think about it, when you're out training and practicing and things like that, the bad guy, when that comes down to that, if it ever does, the bad guy is not going to be dressed in orange or white or bright colors. He's going to be camouflaged or in dark colors and things like that. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I know I will do a video on that as well. I'm going to paint these. I'm going to paint them camouflage colors, a little green, a little browns, a little tans, things like that, just to kind of match the environment that I'm at. Probably a little lighter tan just right now, and then maybe some greens and things over like a period of like spring and summer and things like that, where there's a lot more greens. And that way you can really try to pick out and use your optics and use your eyes to try to try to find them, because they are not going to be wearing these colors, bright colors, to be seen. They're going to be camouflaged, just like you are. Wearing some kind of dark color is going to blend in, be a little harder to see than bright orange, yellow, pinks, whites, whatever. If they are wearing those, then hey man, you know, you're dumb. So I just want to throw that in. A good training option is to camouflage your targets and then go to town on them. And that right there will get your eye trained, get your eye focused on things like that. So multiple types of camouflage that you can do. I'm just going to spray paint these, give them the old rattle can, and kind of multicolor them a little bit just to fit the environment for the time that I'll be using it. So a little fall time this time, and then, you know, spring, summer, a little bit more green, a little tan, a little lighter green, darker green. You get the idea. Just wanted to throw that in there. Anyway, but the targets themselves are outstanding. This has been a good target too. But these, man, I'm telling you, just from the few shots I hit with it, just the pitting versus this one. This is AR550 steel, and whatever they do to this and whatever they've done to this is, and not all of them are deep pitted, but there are a few, and they're not real deep, but they're like much deeper than this. So these just look like little dings compared to that. You can get a close-up of that. Get a close-up of how flat that really is still with the dings. So that's really not bad at all. Compared to this one, see how it's got a little more pitting and stuff like that, but it's still not too bad, not too bad. And all that, so they are heavy some bitches though, but it's steel, of course. Anyway, that's going to be my video on that XSteel Targets. I'll put a link down below. You guys go check them out. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. They've got a few more I'd really like to have. I'd like to have one about this size of this. So, very nice. Anyway, that's it. Keep it heavy.